Hello everyone and welcome yourselves back inside the Alfa Romeo. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about radar detectors. Now, I've been using this for around 2 months, something like that, maybe a month. I always forget, time flies these days, but we're in the UK. It's not something that's overly common over here, but I wanted to talk about it, whether they're worth it, whether they're legal, all that kind of business. So the legislation as it stands for these radar detectors, detecting a signal is not illegal. Jamming a signal, interfering or disrupting, however you want to word it, is illegal. So if you are looking at getting something like this and you want to be completely above board, you need to make sure that you're not jamming, blocking, disrupting or whatever any signal. If you're just looking for them, no problem. Now, this device was £170 from Amazon. It's a tiny little device. It goes on the window. So at the moment I have it set up so that it can be used on this suction pod. There is also a Velcro strip for if I want to have a clean install and get it, running. I'll run it up the A-pillar, hardwire it in, and it can sort of, go in there, similar to the dash cam. But for now, it runs on here, so it literally just, if you can do it, it slides in, he says. There you go, slides in. Power cable goes in, and that's it. So to get it to come on, ignition comes on, it follows with the ignition.
Testing.
It'll run through a bit of a sequence.
System ready.
Car battery's low apparently because I'm in an Alfa. And then basically it'll connect to an app on your phone which offers its own sort of maps. It'll then do this sweep motion where it detects things. On the right hand side you can see it giving me the speed limit of the area. So if I come into my CarPlay, you can see the map system that it gives you. So I'm definitely not detecting a signal. So it's not a bad little interface. I'd say the only drawback is you don't get the updated alerts. The reason you don't get those alerts is because hardly anybody uses this. It's not like Waze or Google Maps. It uses this Mapbox thing, which is okay, but because you don't get massively live traffic updates or roadworks or anything like that, you do find yourself switching to other systems, at which point you need to sort of, chill out with the notifications and stuff. So you've got traffic mode, which gives you a bit of a colour indication for things, but it's very, very generic. Obviously the general sort of warnings, stationary police, moving police, photo enforcement, caution area, what it is. But again, you have to really click into it to get it to do anything. So the interface for the map system that comes with the scanner, as you can see, it is quite nice. It's fairly sleek. It's a little bit darker than something like Google Maps. The main drawback is the general sort of amount of people that are using it. There's not that many, so a lot of these alerts I've sort of basically created myself. This is just for my trip this morning. But as you can see, it does the radars, it does the cameras, it does the red lights, ANPR, all that kind of business. It's very, very good in that sense. It's just a shame that not enough people use it and the traffic isn't brilliant. So with that being said, the age-old question of, is it worth it? Should I be investing the money? That kind of thing. Now, I use it as a secondary sort of acknowledgement for cameras. So largely, you know where the cameras are. You're, driving along and you'll think, oh, there's a camera there. Do whatever you need to do. Where it comes into its own, really, so say you're in an average speed zone, 50 mile an hour, you've got cruise control on, 50 mile an hour, no problem, off you go. Then you hit a bit of stop-start traffic, and then you go again, and you forget to enable cruise control. So now you're doing maintaining the flow of the traffic, you might be doing 51, 52, something like that, yeah? So although it might not be enough to set off the camera, you're technically still speeding. So having that there as a bit of an auditory and visual reminder, like, hey, you know, there's a camera coming up or whatever, it's good. It also helps with, you know, ANPR, red light cameras, or just traffic lights in general. It'll alert me for traffic lights. So say you're going down a country lane and then there's a single track bridge that is traffic light managed, you will get an alert of that traffic light way before you approach the traffic light, so you can sort of adjust and think, right, okay, there might be some traffic here, there could be a parked car, anything like that. It also alerts you for those little, you know, the sort of signs that light up and tell you your speed. Obviously they emit a laser of some description to sense you, gives you the bands of those. It does do speed guns, traffic enforcement vans, anything like that. The only thing I would say with those, in order for it to give you the best reading, the laser needs to be emitting out of the gun, and in those manual guns they're constant, they're not constant. So a speed camera will emit a signal constantly, and you break that signal, and it basically, it's like 2 checkpoints. You break the signal, and it will, you know, do how fast you're going. That's why you have the lines on the cameras and stuff. And obviously the ones on the motorway that don't, it's just the 2 points. It has lines in its field of view. So if you imagine you've got the camera looking, you've then got a green line and a green line, and it will time how long it takes you to break those signals. Those signals are constantly emitted, so you know what's going on. With the guns and stuff, you see a car that you think's going a bit quick, so you shoot it with the gun. At that point, the laser comes out and it will go, whoa, 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 laser, laser. But again, it does sort of help, because if you've got a van sat on a bridge, for example, and it shoots a couple of cars as you're approaching or coming around the corner, it will pick that up. It's only if, you know, if you've got a completely clear road and you're like, I'm gonna gun it, you gun it, go around a corner and there's a van there, it will tell you that it's shooting you currently, but at which point are you then traveling too quick to slow down, or are you already breaking the law, whatever it is, then it doesn't quite help you. But if you want to just have that sort of vision, that extra auditory warning, because they are everywhere and they do pop up all the time, then it's worth having. I like it because if it reminds me once where I've forgotten, it's worth the 170 quid, isn't it? I'm not going to get the course, I'm not going to get the points, the fine, whatever it is. So at that point, you can't really complain. So I like them. I suggest them to people. I think definitely hardwiring is just nicer rather than having the cable running. I'm quite lucky with how the car's set up that I can hide them a bit, but largely, you know, but they do range crazily in price. So you can get some that are like £800, £1,200, and I was like, no go. You get some that are like 30 quid, and you just think, are they actually going to be any good? So I sort of aimed for the middle, you know, use ChatGPT and things like that. Get it to scan for reviews and tell it what you want. That's basically what I did. Came up with this Cobra system, 480i, something like that. Like I say, 170 quid on Amazon. And it's, you know, worth its weight in gold if you use it right. So that's what I would say. So if you're thinking about getting one, do your research, check. I like mine, so that's why I'm sticking with it. If you guys, you know, have anything you want me to sort of try out, anything like that, just let me know, and I'm happy to sort of look into these things, stuff that I think's worth it. You know, I don't want to just be looking at, oh, is this air freshener good? I'm not bothered, mate. Sniff it before you buy it in the shop. You know what I mean? None of them last more than 5 seconds anyway. I mean, this, that does still smell. Holy moly. Goodness. Gosh.